Hi everybody, Dan Illman, Matt Bernier. The Christmas Eve edition of the DRF Bets Race of the Day focuses on the 9th at Gulfstream Park. Let's take a look at this field of 2-year-old fillies trying the about 7.5 furlong distance over the Gulfstream turf course. We're expecting a pretty big field, Matt, and it's a wide open race.
It really is. You can go a number of ways in this spot. I think if you're a fan of a horse that comes from off the pace, you should have every opportunity. And depending on where some of these other sort of more forwardly placed horses position themselves, you should have an opportunity as well.
12 horses in the body of the race, 2 on the also eligible list. And again, this is the DRF Bets Race of the Day. And if you sign up right now to DRF Bets, you'll be able to access a $200 free bet with no deposit required. DRF.com/join is where you need to go. Promo code FREEBET09. We'll take this field in post position order. Formulator past performance is up on the Race of the Day event page. DRF.com free download. One is Di Maria, Speed in the Rail.
Speed in the Rail going to need to improve by leaps and bounds. The one thing I'll say about that wait a while that this filly exits and a number of fillies exit, I know it may not look like there was a crazy pace signed on. To me, it felt like it was a closer-friendly race, and that's why maybe I guess I could give Di Maria a little bit of extra credit, but at the same time, I mean, she's going to need to run much, much better.
And another problem for Di Maria is this Timeform US pace projector, because we are expecting a fast pace up front. Di Maria may not be able to get to the lead. At least she draws inside, should save valuable ground. But Timeform US believes that the 2-3 Sox 1, stretching out around 2 turns for the first time, will be the speed.
Yeah, I would imagine something similar to that plays out. I don't know about the 2. We'll find out about distance, we'll find out about class, and we'll find out ultimately what surface she really wants.
3 Sox 1 did win last time out by open lengths, but it was an off-the-turf affair. The one and only time she tried grass. 5 furlong race. The third horse came back and fired 50 when losing a 25,000 maiden claimer. The 3 is Queen Rose, a horse who won her turf debut 2 starts back and maybe a little bit overmatched in the wait a while. Maybe she didn't like the good turf conditions, or maybe she's just not that good.
Well, I think it's probably a combination of all of those things. It's also worth noting, like you say, it was listed as good. That was in the midst of a driving rainstorm. So I'm wondering if it was a little bit closer to yielding than maybe the good designation. I probably agree with you, though. I think she's probably not quite as good as maybe that maiden score would look.
The number 4, Lena Marie, is a very logical contender for trainer Eddie Keneally. She came with a rush in her career debut over that quirky European-style configuration at Kentucky Downs, and then she ran to her 8-5 favoritism when stretched out around 2 turns at Keeneland, and she beat 3 next-out winners that day.
Yeah, you know what, I like everything about her, honestly. You brought up the next-out winners. The 4th place finisher came back and didn't win, but earned a 68 buyer, and then you had the 9th and 11th place finishers come win next out with 67 and 65 buyers. I thought she looked great that day. She had to dig in a little bit at the end. It was a little bit more workmanlike than I think it looked like it was going to be, but I really have no knock. The painters overall haven't really been that good. I think sneaky, he's going to end up being a turf sire because he's only had 23 starters on turf. He's had 5 winners. I think he's only had 5 other winners, period. So I think this horse has got a big chance.
I agree. I don't think the painters are going to be these early 2-year-old types. I think they're going to get good very late in the 2-year-old season, like now, or early in the 3-year-old campaign. My only knock for Lena Marie, and it's a slight one, is 2.5 months since the last race. Sharp horse wins a maiden at Keeneland, now 2.5 months, couple gaps in the work tab, but she's a logical contender. The 5-4 K's tries turf for the first time. This horse beat a very weak field last time out at Presque Isle Downs over the Synth.
Yeah, maiden 25 claimers up there. You've got to look at a couple things. Now you're stretching out to 2 turns. You're going onto the turf for the first time against better horses. It's a pass.
Sunshine Treasure stalked, pounced in her career debut at 7.5 furlongs at Gulfstream Park, and then I won't hold that last race against her too much. It was off a little bit of a layoff. She passed a couple of tired horses late. Maybe at a giant price you can use this horse underneath.
Yeah, I think underneath at best, simply because that debut, it was a fine enough effort, but boy, you look at the 42 buyer, she's going to need to run probably at least 20 to 30 points better if she's going to have a chance.
Gift of Glory, the number 7's a little toughy. This is going to be start number 10. Remember, these are only 2-year-old fillies. I thought she ran well last time out in the wait a while, and I do know that the pace kind of fell apart at the end, but she uncorked a very long 5-wide bid all the way around the turn into the stretch, and she still was finding more late. I wonder if she actually wants a little bit more distance, but she has won at 7.5, and this pace scenario really plays to her hands. Marcos Meneses, I think, is a very capable rider. The fact that he is 0 for 40 at this meet, I think, helps Gift of Glory's price.
Yeah, I agree with you. I thought she ran just fine that most recent start. Whether you think it was a closer sort of flow or not, I think she ran just fine. There's nothing I have not to knock about that. I think she's going to get a good pace scenario here in this spot. I'm going to be very curious to see what happens. I know she broke her maiden at Gulfstream in September going 7.5. But I agree with you. I kind of feel like a mile and 16th, maybe even a mile and an eighth is ultimately better for her.
The number 8 is Go Nani Go, and she really fits this field like a glove. She's got nice tactical speed. But boy, I thought she got a great trip last time out at Aqueduct in that optional claimer where she just saved ground in behind the leaders. The rail opened up, she shot on through, and she was just outfinished late by a deep closer in Ozap. She's trained by a great one in Michael Maker. And even though the pace is going to be fast, don't you just see her sitting in the second flight in a good spot, getting the jump on horses like Gift of Glory?
Kind of the way I looked at it. That Chelsea Flower, I'm not going to hold that against her. That was first off of a little bit of a layoff. Comes back, and you're right, she had a perfect trip down on the inside, saved all the ground. The rail opened up, she went through, but Ozap finished like a freight train in there. For what it's worth, the 7th place finisher came back to win next out with a 73 buyer. If you want to use that as any sort of a barometer, if you think that this filly moves forward 5 to 10 points, she's a major player.
The 9 is My Masterpiece, and this horse showed some good agility and tactical speed, winning a 5-furlong turf sprint at Gulfstream West 2 starts back. She ran in that Wait a While where Gift of Glory finished ahead of 4 of these common rivals. And if you think the pace was really hot, she was close to it, so I'm not going to hold that loss against her. She's got a shot in here.
Yeah, you know, I think I want to give her the most benefit of the doubt coming out of that Wait a While. She was relatively close throughout and didn't completely get embarrassed. Having said that, I still don't know if I really believe that she's quite this good, but at the same time, again, just based on race flow from that most recent start, maybe she can take advantage here.
The 10 Annabella Queen is light on speed figures, but it must be noted she finished ahead of 3 of these common foes, including the 7 Gift of Glory, went second in that stakebred stake at Gulfstream West 2 starts back. She does like to be forwardly placed. I wonder if that might work against her, but I have a feeling improvement is coming. I'm just not sure it's enough to win.
I was going to say, I mean, I kind of feel like she's a one that you can fool around with maybe underneath at a big number because she hasn't done anything wrong in those 2 turf starts. The problem is she's a little slow.
The 11 Midnight Soiree has run well in both starts on dirt, including a maiden score last time out the first race with blinkers, although Include is not known as a stellar turf stallion. Only 7% winners with first-time turf runners. This dam's full 2 turf winners, and the dam's a half to a multiple graded stakes winner on the turf. So if you're looking for a complete outsider, why not this one?
Yeah, she's a full sibling to try to remember who was 2 for 5 on turf, so that part doesn't really bother me much. The concern is she quite this good?
Unstable in the Morning adds blinkers for Eric Guillot. No match for some of these in the Wait a While at 116 to 1.
Blinkers are going to need to wake her up in a big way.
Let's take a look at our top picks for the DRF Bets Christmas Eve race of the day. You're going with Michael Maker, the 8. Go Nani Go.
Yeah, I thought she ran just fine, and again, she had a perfect trip in there, but I thought it was a good enough effort, and it's nice to know that 7th place finisher coming back to win next out. I think Lena Marie makes a lot of sense, and I think Gift of Glory makes a lot of sense.
Those are the 3 I'm going to use. You went 8, 4, 7, and 9. I went 7, 8, and 4. I would play all 3 of those horses in equal weight in any kind of multiple race wager. I would probably play Gift of Glory at 5 to 1, which is what she is on the morning line. I do want to mention the 13, though, Penance. If she somehow breaks into the body of the field, I like some of the things she's done on dirt. There's a little bit of turf pedigree here. If Penance breaks in, it would be a tough post position, but at 20 to 1, she's a horse to consider. Again, if you are playing the Christmas Eve Gulfstream card from home, $200 free bet waiting for you to be collected. No deposit required. DRF.com/join. Promo code FREEBET09. We're hoping everybody has a happy holiday and approximate post time for race 9 at Old GP on Sunday, 4:06 Eastern. Good luck.